People be forgetting that The Winter Soldier is the best film in the MCU. And I'm glad What If reminded us. It seems like every episode is better than the last in this season. And I am a sucker for the Winter Soldier story, so let's talk about it. And spoilers if you aren't up to date with What If. David Harbour has to be the most charming man. This is the second murderous maniac that I've seen him voice act in the last week. The other is Eric Frankenstein in Creature Commandos, which if you aren't watching, I suggest you check it out. It's really good. But I loved him here as Red Guardian. Marvel is really taking this opportunity in What If to explore the characters that they're going to introduce in the new phase and give us a chance to really connect with them and like them. And you know what? That's what I thought What If was going to be. And honestly, that's why I think season 2 just fell short, because they were focusing so much on characters that already left the MCU and that we already knew. And I think some of that was because season 2 was supposed to be like an overflow from season 1, and it showed. And this just felt so fresh and so new, and I really enjoyed it. As goofy as Red Guardian is, he held his own when he was fighting against Bucky. And when I watched that fight, all I could think about is Red Guardian talking to Natasha and Yelena about how he fought Captain America. Now, maybe that was true and he actually fought Bucky and lost. Shoutouts to them for not only highlighting Bill Foster, but also having him play Goliath and bringing back Lawrence Fishburne to voice him. This is what If is supposed to be. Highlight tertiary characters that are in the MCU. Bring in aspects of them from the comic books that they don't have room for in the movies and the TV shows. I was 1000% here for all of it. I love the buddy cop aspect of this journey, but sometimes I felt like they were playing very loose with Bucky and his programming. I was so thrown off when he was being charming to that fast food worker. I'm glad that Red Guardian called it out. And then in contrast to that, when I felt like Bucky was no longer under his programming and we got to really see him, I was very shocked at how cavalier he was about murdering Obadiah. Speaking of which, I was so happy to see Obadiah in this episode. I use that Tony Stark built this in a cave meme all the time. Honestly, I live by that philosophy. This actor is incredible. And I'm glad they also got him to voice act this character again. It also highlighted the fact that in Iron Man, Obadiah says that he killed Tony's parents. Something that I always felt like was weird and they didn't really connect to in The Winter Soldier. So I'm glad they connected it here. The fight scenes between these two was so charming. I loved it. Maybe just because I'm a sucker for the Winter Soldier story. Every moment of this episode I enjoyed. This is what I wanted to see. 4 out of 5 Frankie Flames.